Can we say feedback?
No, we can't. Because there's no feedback.
I didn't hear anything.
For if there was feedback, which indeed there isn't, it would have been taken out in editing,
Yes.
which people won't even realize
Yes.
until after it's too late.
Because editing, anything can happen in editing. Everything can be fixed in editing.
Well, not everything, but
Well.
that's another story.
You can only airbrush so much, right?
Okay, listen, we got Trish Robichaud and Brent Jones here, who are both speaking and presenting at the PowerExpo that's coming up in Toronto. When is it exactly, guys, before we get into the nitty-gritty?
Yeah, the event is coming up next week. It's going to be on spanning over 2 days, October
Okay.
17th and 18th. So that's Thursday and Wednesday next week. The Wednesday session will be running from 2 o'clock until 8 o'clock. And Thursday will be from 9 a.m. Until 8 p.m. So it'll be a full day on the Wednesday. It's also going to be held at the Metropolitan Centre in Scarborough, which is at the corner of Kennedy and Finch.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, that's a very interesting name, PowerExpo.
I don't know if you guys have any insight into where the name came from, because you're not organizing it.
Correct.
But you
You're
guys are
speaking
speaking at it.
That's right. That's right. The powerful part about it is the collection of different minds and different skill sets, and really where all these messages are coming from, who they're directed to. I mean, we're going to have everybody there from from entrepreneurs, career professionals, people who are looking for change and transition in their career, maybe to do something a little bit different. Bottom line, people who are looking to make a shift, make a change, and there's a lot of power to that. And especially, I know Trish is going to go a little more detail into some of the speakers that we're going to have there and what that's going to look like. But this is for people who are serious about really stepping up and making some changes and focusing on personal growth.
Which is really timely right now, because a lot of people have been laid off or lost their jobs, and they're just kind of in a quandary. What do I do? They're in that transition.
And very many of them, Sandra, have lost momentum.
Yeah.
And motivation.
And motivation, I think,
inspiration,
and spirit,
many
yeah.
even hopeless. Okay?
Yeah, yeah.
So the Power Expo is really about turning the power back on. Our logo is a power button. And that's intended as such, because very often we get paralyzed by situations that have arisen in our careers, whether that's as a result of a downsize, or maybe it's just that maybe your spouse has lost a job, so you're down to one income,
Yes.
or you've had to move as a result of your work, because that's being demanded now, right?
Well, I know people, Trish, that have been at a company for 35 years and were let go. I know a handful of people in that situation. That is so demoralizing. And then there's a psychological element to that too, because they thought that they had the loyalty to their company, and the company just, after 35 years, let them go.
It's a tough spot that people get in, and that's what the theme of my workshop is about. It's about how to stay employable, about upgrading your skills. So many people inadvertently end up writing their own pink slip. They don't even realize over time that if you're in a career like graphic design, that's changed a lot. From the 1970s to 2012, where we are now, there's so much change that goes into that. So the whole idea behind my workshop is to be able to take people, whether they're in that spot or they're approaching that spot. I mean, the best time to make sure you're sharpening skills to be employable is when you're employed, ideally. But if not, here's some actionable steps we can take to make sure you're putting yourself in the best possible position if you got laid off tomorrow, if your company closed, if whatever it happened to be, right?
Yeah. Wow, that sounds really, really, really valuable.
Really cool, totally free event, as long as they register online prior to the event. If they just show up at the door, walk-ins would be $10 a head.
Okay, so
So
that's
$10
reasonable.
for admittance,
A day,
yeah.
right? $10 a day.
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
Yes.
Wow.
So go pre-register.
Pre-register.
Absolutely, and they can do that at powerexpo.net.
Okay.
Great.
Okay. Is this put on by the government by any chance, or is this a
No,
private
it's
affair?
being funded by 3 private individuals who have some background in HR, that are keenly aware that our communities are struggling, people are struggling with work. And so they really wanted to do something to inject some new life into our communities. And so bringing together a host of our most exciting speaker is going to be Kimmery Redman, and she is actually the only board certified NLP practitioner in Canada. And she's going to be doing a full 2-hour workshop on manifesting change in your life through using NLP, which is neuro-linguistic
Wow.
programming. So we're really
Wow.
excited about having Kim.
And which day is she on?
And she is going to be speaking on the Thursday from 10 a.m. to noon.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
We also have a silver Olympian from the 2010 Olympic Winter Games. And
Wow.
her name is Shelly Ann Brown. She was our women's bobsled team number 2 and won a, she's actually the first black Canadian to win a gold medal at the Olympics.
Wow,
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah, so we're pretty excited about that.
So you have a lot of motivational type stuff going on too.
Definitely, a lot of motivational stuff, but we also have we have a variety of workshops that are more strategy minded. Okay, so we have Susan Brady, and she's going to be talking about how to build a 6-figure income from home. All right, we got to love that.
Let's hope
Yeah.
that doesn't include the
Which day-
pennies.
Exactly. That'd be a lot of work.
Now,
Yeah.
which day is that?
I don't have that in front
Okay,
of me. I
okay.
apologize.
Okay.
But PowerExpo.net. Okay,
Has the
that's where
entire
they go.
schedule?
Everything, the
Correct,
schedules.
yes.
If you click on the registration page, you will get an agenda, and you'll see exactly when everyone is speaking and what the topics for their workshops are.
Nice.
Why don't, while we're talking about speakers, why don't you touch a little bit on your workshop and kind of what you're speaking about? And,
Okay.
and, you know.
I am a business automation coach. Specifically, I work with people with chronic health conditions, entrepreneurs who have decided they needed to be self-employed as opposed to working corporate. And I work with anybody in terms of entrepreneurs, but specifically people who guard their energy well as a result of their health. So I'm going to be talking about business automation strategy, how to leverage technology to take back some time that's being sucked into your business, how to work on your business instead of in your business by
So
automating
are you talking
your
about,
processes.
okay, so streamlining and making, like having procedures, computer procedures that make, that do the work
Exactly.
for you?
Exactly.
It's like you get up in the morning, ultimately, press a button on your computer and take the rest of the day off. That's the ultimate in
That would be
business
the ultimate.
automation.
Wow.
I'm not sure we're at the ultimate.
That's a lot of pressure.
Yeah.
No pressure, Trish. No pressure on that one, because you'd be having
Absolutely.
a lineup waiting to get into your talk if that
Absolutely,
was.
That's right, yeah.
absolutely. But there are definitely strategies that people can leverage to bring regular, consistent leads into their business using automation tools on their website.
So you're going to give
Which is
some
really cool.
specific tools,
Absolutely.
specific technologies or
Yes.
stuff.
And I'm a crazy junkie for the free stuff. So
Really?
wherever I can, yeah. So I'll be focusing stuff that's little or no cost.
And then for your
Nice.
talk, Trish, like who's the ideal? Like, are these entrepreneurs?
Yes, for my workshop is mostly going to be entrepreneurs,
Okay.
or people who are just thinking even about moving from corporate to starting a business on the side part-time until they can transition in there.
Yeah,
Full-time.
because it seems that's the big long-term trend, really, is towards an entrepreneurship economy. Period. Right? They're even talking about entrepreneurship within organizations.
Absolutely.
Oh
yeah.
wow. Wow.
I've read a lot of stats on, seriously, that it is the self-employed amongst us that save this economy.
That's the
in Canada.
backbone
Well,
of it.
yeah,
Absolutely.
small business
Absolutely.
is the engine
Yeah.
of Ontario anyway.
It is.
That I know.
Always has been, yeah.
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 Yep.
And that's really interesting. A lot of people don't know that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And there are 360,000 businesses in Ontario, and the vast majority, I'm ballpark number, 60 to 70% of those are self-employed businesses.
Isn't that interesting?
Yeah.
Wow.
So we have a huge potential impact on our economy.
Now, is this your first time you're doing the Power Expo?
Yes, actually,
Okay,
this
okay.
is my first time. Yours?
Mine as well. Yep.
Yes.
Is it the first time it's being put on?
Yes, I believe it
Okay,
is. Yes, it is. This is
okay.
our premier event, and I
Okay.
understand there's another being launched in the spring. We're already planning another in the spring. So,
That's right.
Yeah.
Wow,
That's
that's
right.
great. So feedback must be pretty positive to already be starting to.
Absolutely,
for the
absolutely.
next
There
one.
will be we have vendors, so there's going to be a marketplace there of vendors who provide services to people who are in this segment of the population.
Very nice.
As well as our multitude of speakers, and there's also going to be. You want to talk about the event? The
The
awards
Power,
event.
yeah, the Power Awards. So we have, there's an awards component to it as well. We'll be giving away a couple of awards. And one of the really cool things about the awards portion of it is that anybody can be nominated, even from age 6 and up, which is a pretty cool thing. And I'll touch on what the 3 awards are. The first Power Award is a Mentor Excellence Award to nominate a mentor who's made a difference, who's been able to empower you. The second being a New Entrepreneur Award, and this is the interesting one for ages 6, 7, 8. But I mean, young entrepreneurs come out and surprise us all the time with different ideas, innovations. And the third one is a Social Media Award for promoting the event as well. And so those awards are, I think the deadline for submission to nominate somebody is October the 12th. So that's this 12th, Friday, right? Okay. So Friday at the end of the day. That can also be done online, powerexpo.net, registration, and also for nominations there too.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, so if you're out there and you're in the GTA and you're feeling the least bit stagnant in what you're doing right now, please come down and join us. And we'll be really excited to see you there and meet everyone.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Just, you mentioned that a lot of people are potentially losing hope or just not in a great frame of mind. They're kind of don't know what to do next, or they're just not motivated or inspired to do anything. Like for those kind of people that are kind of thinking, oh yeah, they just don't even have enough motivation maybe even to even come to the event. What can you tell them?
I'd recommend they should at least check out the website. I think there's a lot of content and a lot of value there that we don't have time to go into today about what the full agenda entails. The backgrounds of some of the speakers are incredible, that we're going to have. And I think at least taking a look at it, you register for free. There's really nothing to lose by checking out the event. It could be exactly the catalyst that somebody needs to be able to make a change, make a first step.
And I also find too, sometimes when you read the bios of these people, it actually does inspire you to go, even if you're not thinking or you're that inspired to go before you start to go to the website. After you start to read some of this, it kind of almost is contagious and can be enough to get you over that hump where you don't want to go to where you now really want to go.
Absolutely.
I think
taking action is never easy. Sorry.
Well, I was going to say, it's like even if you choose to go instead of not go, you're changing your timeline.
Absolutely.
You're changing. Yes, you are.
Yes.
Yes, you are.
You are stepping into a completely new paradigm when you expose yourself to new concepts and inspirational source.
Well, and also too, just to talk to others, it's also a support place as well, because you're meeting other people who are down and out too.
The network component.
Not that they're all down and out.
No. They feel down and out. There's no
Some of them may feel.
I actually think
there's merit to that.
Quote, down and out, unquote.
Yeah, it's supposed to be a Power Expo. Now we're making it sound like everybody's going to be miserable and drained of energy. And come down, we'll plug you back in.
What I mean by that, let me qualify that. What I mean by that is actually, I think when people are down and out, quote unquote, that's actually the most powerful time to create change. Mac or Apple, Steve Jobs, and Windows were started during the recession.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So that's, if you have any kind of courage at all, this is the time to actually start something, not when things are going great, right? So this can be the catalyst that actually really changes, and that's why down and out really doesn't mean down and out.
Or the only time to do anything is now, right? So don't wait till the next recession.
Yeah,
that's right.
Or don't, even if you're feeling great and everything's going good, but if you want to do your own business, which everybody really should, I think.
And I think everybody really has a burning desire to do that.
Well, aside from even there's obviously the entrepreneurial part of it is there, career advancement, personal growth. I mean, we even have workshops on health and fitness, and making those kind of transitions.
Everything from the whole spirit, the physical.
Yeah, juggling careers with parenthood. I mean, there really is a variety of messages, and I think, in my opinion, they cater to both left and right brain people, right? So depending whether you are the person whether you want to be informed and educated or you want to be motivated, inspired, I mean, I think we have messages to accomplish both of those things. So the biggest recommendation I'd have, the strongest point I think anyone will take out of it is the networking component to it, is support, not all just for down and out, but that's one of the key things I review in the workshop is going over, in terms of staying employable, you got to constantly have fresh contacts, make sure you're networking, meeting people. This very event itself is really one of the things I'm promoting in my workshop, is that we need to keep meeting people, making new contacts, making sure you're exploring your industry fully. So
absolutely. And this event is definitely going to be coming from out of the box, because it's not your typical business conference. We're appealing to a number of different target markets. But ultimately, all of those target markets are probably at a similar place in their life right now, feeling kind of complacent, feeling like they want something more. They're not sure how they're going to make that happen. And PowerExpo is about how to turn the power on, and that's what we're hoping to do.
Very nice. So you're no down and out. You're up and in.
No, we're up and in.
Well, listen, guys, while you're here and you're both involved, you're going to both be presenting at this thing. Like, let's just talk about that. Like, how do people turn the power on?
How did you do it?
Like, what are some ideas you can give people right now? Maybe this will be enough to get people to actually come out to the conference, but also just get people motivated to just take that.
Well, you've got a very personal answer. I mean, why don't you,
Turning the power on, as far as I'm concerned, is really about change. Because as long as we continue to do the same things, we're going to get the same results, right? And so we have to do something different. So exposing ourselves to a new message, exposing ourselves to somebody who has the potential to motivate us, exposing ourselves to books, workshops. Heck, if you can't get out, man, find a webinar online, something, expose yourself to new knowledge. Change, I like to say that the pain of change is only bearable when the pain of staying the same is unbearable. Well, guess what? There's a lot of people out there right now that are feeling quite unbearable in their lives. So you know what? And the other really cool piece is the further you step outside your comfort zone, the more potential there is for growth. So if I only step out wee bit potential for growth.
Yes.
But if I step way out, there's a potential there for quite a metamorphosis.
So heck, jump into the abyss.
Exactly.
Well, and I can say, just from my own personal experience, there have been times when I just didn't want to do anything. I didn't want to go to that event or go to that thing, and I've gone, and miraculous things have happened.
Absolutely.
So, I
But
know
it
that
takes
this
courage
happens.
to do that, or is it desperation that really?
Sometimes that's a motivator, and that's okay.
Sometimes, unfortunately, I mean, what ends up empowering people is getting into a spot where they have no choice but to change, and sometimes I imagine that maybe, some of the audience that we have, I mean, some are very proactively looking for change, but most people, it takes that spot of, losing that career position after 30 years or whatever it is. For myself and being a speaker at this event and my blog, and it's all very personal for me in the sense that, as I was growing up, I watched my father go through that exact thing, and, career change after more than 20 years with the same company. Saw the impact it had in our family, and and he put in a lot of obviously time and effort to be able to make the changes that he had to. But that was a point like you just touched on. It was the desperation part of it, and like you're forced in that point, you have to make a change. So a lot of the PowerExpo, the empowering part of it, is focusing around how do we how do we make sure that we're making the right changes, we're growing, so that we don't end up in that situation where we have no choice. Right?
Yeah, it's interesting because Sandra teaches a course, and one of the things I think that you've mentioned or somebody's mentioned is that sometimes the universe, if you're not making those right choices yourself, the universe is going to back you up against that wall where you have to take some kind of an action.
That's right.
Absolutely.
That's right.
And you know what? Confusion is the greatest state for change, right? And that's the down and out we were referring to. It's that, when you have nowhere else but to go up, that's when you're most open to, because obviously what you're doing is not working.
Right.
So maybe the universe, maybe it's time to say, okay, you know what?
There's got to be a better way.
Yeah. So you show me.
And it's when you go to an event of this magnitude, of this potential power, that I truly believe that you open yourselves up to the power of the universe, of your higher power, bringing the opportunities for synergy and synchronicity into your life. If you stay in the office, you stay inside your little box, that is not going to happen. Yeah. God is not going to come knocking on your door and walk you out of the office. You have to get out there yourself. So it's important to give yourself that opportunity.
All right. Now, is there anything else we should let people know about the conference? Any other aspects to it or speakers?
Just in terms of speakers, we also have a gentleman by the name of Robert Valley, and he's going to be talking about Speak and Impress. So he's teaching people about public speaking. We also have a gentleman, James Burgess, from Focus 31.
I know James.
Do you? Yes. There you go. Awesome.
Focus 31?
From Focus 31.
Okay.
And R. Anthony Warner speaking on mentorship, which is such, honest to God, that's a whole new segment right there. I just discovered this show called The Voice. I'm calling this social opportunity, because we're empowering people who have money and whatnot to share with others. Mentorship is just awesome. I just love that. Finally, Carolyn Dickinson, on balancing motherhood and being a brand new entrepreneur. So that would be an interesting topic.
Yes. It's like a superwoman.
Absolutely. Yes.
And how to be able to be a superwoman and,
Yes.
and still wake up in the morning.
I can't even imagine. My kids are grown and kids of their own and everything. So my biggest challenge when I started my own business was my husband retired the year before, or the year after. So that went from me having the whole house and office to myself to husband sharing the space. So that in itself is a huge adjustment.
I've heard many a horror story.
You should have bought him a set of golf clubs.
Yeah, you know what I said? Go build yourself a workshop, please. And he built a big, huge workshop in the backyard, and that's where I find him now.
Oh,
yeah.
nice.
Great.
Yeah.
At least you found a solution.
Yes,
Good for you.
exactly.
Good for you.
Exactly.
Okay, guys, so people can check it out and register
Sounds
for free
awesome.
at
It
powerexpo.net.
That's
right.
And
Yep.
do you guys have websites, or you mentioned you blog, Brent, that people
That's
might
correct.
want to follow up with you guys personally?
Yeah, I would love it if they did. My blog is at jobgettingtips.com. Jobgettingtips.com.
Job getting?
Getting, yeah.
Okay.
Getting, jobgettingtips.com. And you can certainly visit the site, subscribe to the mailing list, get some new articles and tools when they come out to help job seekers. At the event itself, I'm going to be giving away some print copies of my ebook that I've written as well, 7 Fatal Mistakes Made by Most Job Applicants. It's a really cool resource because it outlines a lot of career myths, what career advice experts are teaching that doesn't necessarily align with how to actually get the job. So there is a digital copy that can be downloaded online from the blog. There's a little download link on the right-hand side. So if you want kind of a sneak peek before the event, certainly you can check it out, download it online as well.
Nice,
Okay, great.
nice.
Thanks.
And Trish, do you have a site?
I'm at
or-
changingpaces.com. That's paces as in steps, slowing down. Changingpaces.com. And I am very much about maximizing quality of life in spite of current existing health challenges. I'm a life coach, business coach, technology coach. And I'll teach you how to build a website so you can express yourself, how to do a WordPress installation so that you can express yourself online
Great.
and
Nice.
build your own brand.
Okay. It's
Wow.
really important.
Thank you guys. Thank you guys
Thank
for
you
being
very
here.
much for having
Thanks so
us.
much
Taking the
for
time
having
to do
us.
this
Appreciate
too.
it. Absolutely.
It's been fun.
So again, that's October 17th and
Yep.
18th.
That's
right?
correct.
Up at Finch and Kennedy.
Finch and Kennedy.
And check, all the info is available at powerexpo.net.
That's
it.
right.
Okay, guys.
Wow, you
Thanks.
can read your writing.
Yes, I can. Okay, we're going to take a little break and come back. Sean Dalton is here. So, geez, what do we have? Do you want to see? Let's watch this video about how to free yourselves from the smart grid.
From the smart
Okay, we'll be right
grid.
back.
Free energy.